We don't have hardly anything on the agenda, which is a good thing, I guess. First thing on the agenda is, discuss the low water pressure issue at 303 Oak Drive. I sent y'all a email yesterday about it, because, the lady wanted an answer yesterday, because, so she wouldn't have to take off from work, but she didn't take off from work, so, and our lawyer's not gonna be here today, but, because he and I had talked about it, and, but let me go back over this situation and tell y'all what happened. Mike's here, and he knows exactly what happened, because this lady, Gretchen Harris is her name, and her house at 303 Oak had low water pressure. So she called the city, and I think it was on the weekend probably, because we sent our weekend guy, Ronnie, out there, and he looked at the situation, and he thought it was on her, right? He told her, said, this is your problem, not us. So you need to get your plumber out here and let your plumber see about it. Well, she did, that's what she did. She tried, she said, to get a local plumber and could not get one. So, she got one out of Jonesboro, and I sent y'all a copy of the bill that he sent, and it has been paid. He's marked it paid. But, so she went ahead and had her plumbing redone. Alright, and then at the bottom of his bill, he says, the water still doesn't have any pressure through our system. You'll have to contact your local city water department for further results. So he's saying what I did didn't do any good. And so she does just that. She calls us again. And why don't you take it from there?
This time I sent Robert out there and I told him to verify what's going on and check it out. Well, he pulled the water meter, dug it up, determined that our water service was king. And it's been like that for a while.
It's on our side.
It's on our side of the meter. So they fixed it, put it back together, and everything was fine.
And she's been fine ever since. So, you know, it's partly our fault, I think, don't you think?
Somewhat. And the normal procedure for something like that is they go out there, they look at the meter, make sure nothing's wrong in the meter box. They go and turn the faucet on and see what kind of pressure we got a gauge and put on the faucet. Well, this particular house did not have an outside faucet to tie onto. And we couldn't get in the house, of course. I tell my guys not to go in the house because of the situations you get into. So there's no way to verify it. So Ronnie did the best he could. And then when we got back, and the only other thing, there were still complaints about it. So I told Robert, pick the meter up, pull it out, and see if you got water pressure at the meter. And you physically take our water meter out, turn the valve on, and see what's there. And that's what he did. And there wasn't a whole lot of pressure there. So he investigated farther, and that's when he found our. I don't know that exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty big line.
It's been in there a while, been in there like 5 or 6 years. So, and it's,
Like in there when we were building that house.
yeah. And whenever you built your house, I mean, that was about 5 years ago.
That one, not three.
3, right? But yeah, that's when it was. And it worked for a while, and then just over time, started settling whatever came to those. So,
Sandbags coming off of there or something.
yeah, it's plastic pipe.
Why didn't she want, can I ask you this, why didn't she want to ask for the whole 39?
Well, I talked to our attorney about it. I told him the whole situation, because I felt like he needed to be involved in it. And, he said to avoid, a lawsuit and us having to get involved in that and cost there, he said it would probably be better just to settle with the lady. He said, I'll be glad to call her and see if she'll take less than this amount right here. And he did, and she said she would take 3,000 instead of 4,000.
She's willing to do that, I wouldn't push to get any more than what the attorney says.
Okay. I I mean, I could do it, but I didn't want to do it without y'all knowing about it and agreeing to do it, you know, so you know about it, cause I think she's in your district.
She's in your district.
But she never called me,
Well,
so.
I meant to call you, and I forgot.
She called me, she did, she called me.
Did you?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what district they're in.
I know Greg's not his own person. Many years. But she just called me since I was a city official.
Right.
And that's how they got started.
Well, I mean, you know, I could see her point, you know, but, so anyway, that's where we are with that. So, do y'all agree that that's what we need to do? I can do it, but,
Yeah, I think, my personal opinion is if she's agreed to that, let's not go any further. We're having the same kind of issue with the tree thing right now at the hospital, so. Yeah, if she's agreed to that, and is she gonna sign anything saying that she's not gonna come back?
yeah, he's drawing up an agreement.
Yeah.
That's another reason I got him, because I knew he needed to sign something.
I'm fine with that. I don't know about the rest of the group.
I mean, if she's agreed to it, I think that's nice on her part.
Okay. All right, well, I'll take care of that. We don't need to buzz on the money. The next thing is to discuss ad valorem tax, 2025 roll forward. Did you want to discuss that?
I just want to know, it's a little bit different process, you know, than adopting the ordinance when we set the millage rate. Last year, we had a reassessment, they do that every 4 years, the tax assessor's office does. And because we've always adopted ours by ordinance, you know, I have to introduce the ordinance 1 month and then we adopted it the next council meeting. Well, with a roll forward, there's advertising requirements that have to be done, cause we're trying to recapture, you know, we had gone down on the millage, we were at 7.70 and it's 7.22. So in order to roll it back forward to stay within the previous year's level, which we're allowed to do without going, you know, before the voters for the approval process, we're gonna be adopting 2 resolutions at next month's meeting. The first one will be to set the millage rate, and the second would be to roll it forward to the previous year, which was 7.70, since we didn't get it done last year. This will capture us back about $12,000, and the city needs it, you know, to operate on. So that's why we're doing it this way. And the 2 ads came out in the Springhill paper the last 2 Thursdays, and also in the Shreveport Times the last 2 Thursdays. No, you have to do all that, and then we'll adopt 2 resolutions at next month's meeting to get it done.
Okay. Back kinda on this possible lawsuit, whatever. I met a guy yesterday, I was telling Derek about earlier. His name is Joe Landrino. He's an attorney, and he's bought, the property next to, L Oaks. And he bought it, and it's flooded as of that rain we had the other night. And he wants the city to do something about it, and if we don't, he's gonna file suit. Just like the Butcher Boy did. I mean, the only reason I mention it is you may hear something about it, and, it's just kind of a problem, it's not gonna go away, it doesn't look like. But, this is on the upper section now,
I was just thinking, that's different.
it's not in the lower section,
It come in through the,
back,
back, it went through the toilet.
no.
Ones on that northwest corner get only from the back in the rain. That's the only, it doesn't come up under, it's just when it rains too hard.
Just so y'all know, when we get a 3-inch rain in 30 minutes, ain't nothing we can do about it at all. It floods everything.
It was just deep on Mason Drive.
Yeah, they do, but it's not a huge problem. The water does come in there. Do you have a problem down there?
You don't do it on your building?
The two on the corner, the security finance and the next door one, what is it, law firm? Friends Law Firm? Gibson, that's what it is. They don't get flooded flooding in there, but they do get, the back wall gets a little wet and we'll get like a little bit, but that's the first ever flood.
But anyway, I just wanted y'all to be aware of that. The guy said, "Bro, you gonna move here to Springhill and open a law practice?" He said, "No, we live in St. Louis." And, he said, because my wife's a nurse practitioner, and she went out here to the hospital, but they were terribly rude to her and wouldn't even talk to her about giving her a job here. And I said, "Well, you know, I'm chairman of the board of the hospital." And I said, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I can't imagine those people as nice as they are out there. I cannot imagine one of them being rude, especially as bad as we need nurse practitioners, you know, so. Anyway, I
How
don't
did you know
know.
that water was in the building? He's in St. Louis.
No, he's here.
Oh, he is,
Yeah,
okay.
he's
They're
here.
working on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's here, he's back and forth. And I said, "Well, how are you gonna run the thing? You know, I mean, how are you gonna do that? I don't understand that." And he said, "Well, there's new lawyers coming out of schools all the time. I might just put one of them in there." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." It didn't make any sense to me.
Right there by you.
Yeah, have the law on my side and around.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, I just want y'all to be aware of that, this meeting. The last thing I've got is a police chief recommendation for a step increase for an officer. He completed the police academy. So that's all I've got. Amy's here, she wants to say something, I'm sure.
We also we'll have the bids too for the
Oh, yeah.
vehicles and
Bids
stuff
for those
like that.
vehicles we declared surplus.
If I have any turned in.
I just wanted to let you all know that I started my new job with Webster Parish this week, so I'm officially employed there and no longer with the city of Springhill as of this Saturday, which is equal parts good and sad. But I wanted to let you guys know where you're at with Main Street. It was my kind of hope that I would stay on here one day a week to keep the program going until you guys were able to hire a full-time employee, but Springhill's already terminated my employment, so I wanted to see if I could have your guys' permission to keep the access to the email. The phone would be nice, because if you have no director while you're waiting to hire somebody, the program's gotta, or I wanna know who I need to talk to keep the other things going. So you have a historic district commission meeting on July 24th that I was running. You have a grant open, the match project grant, on July 15th, and that's for downtown businesses, and those have people pending. We have a farmer's market on August 5th, I believe, and one every month thereafter, which the signups are open for that now. And then you have the Historic Preservation Fund grant, the DOTD Transportation Alternative Program grant, and the Downtown Roadmap grant that are all open and need to have a responsible party. And so I'm happy to sit down with somebody at City Hall or one of you guys to take those over. We can cancel the grants, that's again $300,000 in funding that we would be walking away from. Or I'm happy to continue running the program as a board member, as a volunteer board member with Brianna, who's also a board member, until you guys are able to hire a Main Street director with your permission. So it's really, I just wanna let you guys.
I'd already told you you could.
Oh, can do that?
Yeah, I can tell you can.
I can, okay, so that's what so do I need to turn in I have the phone and the keys and the laptop, do I need to turn those in today, or can I don't need the laptop room, but.
No, you turn that in.
Okay.
But the phone,
So we'll access,
We'll need the
credit card.
I'll turn in the laptop and the credit card, and then I'll retain access to social media, the email, and the phone, and the keys, if that's agreeable to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate that. But your start date now was when?
Tuesday, this Tuesday.
They put in the paper, it was July the 1st.
They misprinted, Brianna started as their social media coordinator for tourism on July 1st, and I started on July 8th, so it was just a misprint. My parents were here and everyone.
But anyway, you are employed down there now.
Yes,
Okay.
I am. But we'll have it so that, and I think I told you this as well, for the first 90 days, I'll work admitted 5 days a week, and I had it put into my contract that I'd like to be able to work up here 2 days a week to cover both ends of the parish, and if I have your permission, which you gave me, I'd like to be able to work in that chamber with Amber, so that it would be, I'd be 3 days in Minden and then 2 days up here with the Main Street Director and Amber. So that we're covering both ends of the parish and bringing some folks.
And the tourism, they were looking at this building over here.
Right, and we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday, we have a meeting on Wednesday, it'll be up here at the Chamber of Commerce if anyone wants to attend, my first tourism meeting as director. So it'll be up here at, Wednesday, at the Chamber of Commerce at 8 AM, if anybody wants to attend, we will be talking about them taking over that building, and Derek will probably take the lead on that, but that's on the agenda for this Wednesday, coming up.
Yeah, 'cause we need to do something with it.
Yeah.
I talked to Danny about that too, and to see if they wanted to do something jointly, but he said that, what's her name? Denise has had some issues with like a broken leg.
Right. Okay, all right, well, thank you. Do you have
Yeah.
some?
Can you keep me on the agenda for Monday, like if I can just, I'll tell the Main Street stuff, if you will keep, or else I can speak at the end as a guest, however you want, but just so you know, I'll give them
Well, I'll
the,
put down there.
I'm glad that the tourism part is gonna be up here part-time, because I think it's a whole parish thing.
it is, I'm really excited about it.
I have a question for y'all, because I have been asked by my employees how this is gonna work, or if it even is gonna be. Derek, back when you did the job evaluations, you had said come July 1st, you wanted us to start doing employee evaluations, and there would be raises along with that according to the evaluation. Discussed that with Shelley, because I got 2 or 3 this month, and she said there's no money in the budget for that. So, what would the council like for me to do about that? I mean, if you tell me to do an evaluation anyways, I will, but I don't see the purpose in going through all of that if there's nothing, no reward at the end of it. Because it's just gonna kill morale.
I understand that, and they're done that, and, what we need to do is, they need to be in Larry and Shelley sit down and talk.
Okay.
Just take the time.
Okay.
We were gonna have, I had mentioned, y'all, we were gonna start having a meeting before this meeting to go over the budget each month. But then Shelley and I talked, and she said it would be better to wait till August to start that because of the end of the year, right?
Well, the figures I would've had would've been through June 30, so you won't have your July figures until the first meeting in August.
So that's,
But if you want to, that's what we'll do, is now, because I got, this, step increase thing, I was, after reading that yesterday, I was thinking about that yesterday too, there's something, I wanted to talk to Will, I'm sorry he's not here.
yeah, he didn't make it.
But yeah, Will.
But I do think, though, everybody needs to be evaluated. I was evaluated for years over here every year, and Webster Parish School employees ain't got a raise in 10 or 12 years. But I think it is good to keep evaluating and keep it in their file, and that way when things do come up, there it is.
We have a list, I think I've got this for years, they've been here, so I'll go pull that.
Do that next, no, we can't do it next week. You're gonna be in school.
Yeah, I'll be in school next week. I just want to know which direction to go with it.
Just tell them that we're fixing to meet, talk about it again, and we wanna see how we're gonna proceed. But I think it was, we're gonna look at it and make sure we did have the right ones. And I there at the hospital, I know there's where many years, when it does, it throws people.
Way back.
So when you get ready to hire this guy that's got that many years' experience, the guy that's got the same amount is making less than the other one. Right. It does throw, I can get the wrench. I'll wrench it.
Okay, y'all, that's all I had, unless y'all got something else.